to the Let's Talk BS podcast. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Sofia, and we're coming to you live from the
757.
Good morning, Bryan.
Hey, good morning, Sofia. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, besides all these technical difficulties we
Man,
were
what?
having this morning.
Man, what? You know what they say, man? The light is always after the storm, man. I feel like, they got just folks trying to stop our podcast from being recorded, man. They feeling the pressure right now, man. I think
Who is they?
I don't know. The enemy. That's what my mama always say. The enemy.
Okay.
The enemy. So
Yeah.
they trying to stop our shine, man. But we gonna shine regardless, though. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm doing good this morning. I feel good, man. How you feeling?
I feel good.
That's good. That's good, man. Yeah, it's Friday. The weather was good, man. I was on my way here driving, had my sunroof open, singing like I was in the shower. I was feeling good, man. Feel good Friday, man. I was feeling really well. Yeah.
Top down?
Nah, I ain't got,
just the
I had it cracked.
sunroof open?
Yeah, I had it cracked. I can't say I had it down. I had it cracked, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, what's been going on this past week with you? I mean, we had a really successful week, guys.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. Let's see, last weekend, I didn't do much. My son had his game at an 8 o'clock start, so it was really, really early. It was just kind of like we had the first game, so everyone got there. They opened the gym up. Everybody was kind of dragging. Took a little bit for folks to really kind of get into it, but it was cool. He scored again, so it's the second week in a row scoring, which is good. The team they played was really good. They beat the crap out of him. It was like 9-2.
So they lost real bad, but he scored.
Yeah, but he scored. He scored the first bucket of the game, actually. First score of the game, he scored, and he made a couple of rebounds.
Okay, MVP.
Yeah. It's funny, though, because his thing is, I told him, I was like, because at first, when he was first playing, he was reluctant to shoot the ball. Mm-hmm. And so I told him, hey, man, I was like, you got to have at least 9 or 10 shots to get a trophy at the end of the year. So every time he shoots the ball now, he looks at me and says, 1, 2, 3. Like, he's counting every time he shoots the ball. So he's looking. So one parent was sitting beside me. It was like, what is he doing? I was like, he's letting me know how many times he's shooting the ball because he said, I told him he's not going to get a trophy unless he actually shoots the ball 10 times this year. And so he's up to 8 now. So I think we got 2 more games left. So, but it's funny. Every time he shoots, he turned in the middle, they could be going for the ball. So now you got to
go get a trophy. You know that, right?
100%. Yeah, I got to hook up for the trophy, so that's no problem.
Yeah.
But it's just funny that every time, he's looking he'll shoot the ball even before he even looks to see if he makes it. He turns around and look at me like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, pay attention. We'll talk about it after the game.
That's hilarious.
But nah, yeah. So Saturday was cool. He had his game, and then right after that, I had my home buying seminar with an agent that I work with. It was good. We had about 6 people come out, so it wasn't a whole bunch. We were expecting around about 10 to 12 folks to come out, but all in all, it was good. I mean, I was able to get 2 applications from there, so that was cool. The agent is someone who I've been building with over the last year. She's a rock star. She's been kicking butt. So I'm proud to align myself with her. And like I said, but yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it on my weekend. Sunday, just kind of relaxed, to be honest with you. I felt like this was one of the first weekends where we didn't really have a whole lot going on. So I really tried to relax and just kick it with the family. It was nice weather on Sunday, so we went outside. I think I took my son out, riding his bike, and my daughter. It's funny because my daughter is younger than my son, but my daughter can ride a bike better than my son. I hate to say that. So they were racing each other, and it was funny. She was beating him, and he was so butthurt. So then he was like, "Well, race me back to the garage." And he tried to get off the bike, run, and she was like, "No, no, we're racing on the bike." It was funny, man. They're very competitive, which I am. So I know how I know where they get that from. So, but yeah, that was pretty much my weekend. What about you?
I didn't really do anything. I mean, we went to go see Ant-Man.
How was that?
This weekend.
That just came out this weekend. I remember you mentioned you said you was going to go check it out. Okay.
It was okay. I mean, if you're a Marvel fan, he got some of those movies where it's just okay, it's informational. It lets you know.
Yeah, it kind of builds up.
It builds up to what's coming in the future. So it was all right. I mean, if you follow the movie, finally they're stuck in the quantum realm. So
okay,
that's pretty much the gist of the whole movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so different things are going on. I guess there's also a new person, Kang. So
you said K? How did
Kang? Kang.
Oh, Kang. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they introduced him. But yeah, it was okay. I mean, the kids, you know, it wasn't animated, but it was like very like it was a lot going on, a lot of colors, a lot of different like species and different
Okay.
people. So the kids watched it. You know, it was good. And then we left. And then the weekend, I pretty much just chilled. Besides on Sundays, you know, we do volleyball. So that it was actually their last volleyball game, and they have playoffs or championships or something going on this weekend, but we ain't gonna make it.
Okay. Was y'all not good or something? Or
No, we made them. We made it to be able to participate in it.
oh, okay, okay.
But we just ain't going this weekend.
Oh, okay. All right.
But that's pretty much it. You had a home buying seminar,
Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah.
and you said that you got 3 clients.
Yeah, 2 applications from there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I missed that part.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 2 applications from there,
I
so
told
that
you
was
I ain't
cool.
had enough coffee this morning.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I was talking to my cousin this morning on the phone on my way to work, and we were talking about, you know, things that could potentially stop us from like being able to hang this weekend. And she said something where it completely threw me off, and I was just like, what are you talking about? And I was in line at Starbucks, and I had to like pull up and hurry up and order my coffee because I just wasn't on board with what she was talking about. And so now I done missed the whole home buying seminar.
Yeah, you did, because I mentioned that.
So I think I
talked
need
about the
another cup of
agent,
coffee.
me building with her. Yeah, so you must have been zoned out then.
I was.
Yeah.
Thinking about everything I got to do for the rest of this day. Because
Gotcha.
I'm like back to back busy. So,
Got you.
yeah.
Yeah, but last weekend, like I
But
said.
that agent that you're talking about, she killing it.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah,
good.
yeah. She's doing very well, man. So definitely excited to see what we have for the future together as far as working together. So you know.
Yeah, and then the kids were out of school on Monday. So,
Yeah.
President's Day was, I'm trying to think, did I do anything on President's Day? I don't even know what I did. Oh, I think I might have had like a meeting on President's Day. I can't remember on President's Day. It was such
I
a
had
blur.
a meeting on President's Day, and then
Who did you meet?
I met a buyer. It was a buyer that I met on President's Day. But
So
then I
then
remember.
no, because I didn't come in the office on Monday.
Okay.
I must have stayed at home then.
Gotcha.
But I can't remember. But yeah, this week has been like so busy that it feels like, when is it gonna calm down?
Yeah.
But the most successful time of the week is our event on Wednesday. So on Wednesday we invited about 50 agents.
Yeah.
Or a little bit more than 50 agents, and actually some agents that we did not invite showed up, and it was pretty cool. It was a great event, great turnout. I think that out of all of the events that we do in regards to our agent related events, I think it was like the best one that we've ever had. So loved it. Everybody showed up and showed out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a good time, man. Like Sophia mentioned, we had an event on Wednesday, which was National Margarita Day.
Yep.
And so we kind of built the event around that. And there's a restaurant here in Town Center in Virginia locally. It's a nice Mexican restaurant. It's on the newer side. It's been open, I would say, for a couple years now. And so it's on the second floor of a building, so it has like a nice little like balcony where you can kind of oversee the rest of the Town Center area. And so we had our event there at the restaurant, and we were out there on the balcony and kind of flowed in and outside. And like Sophia mentioned, I mean, we invited probably 50 to 60 people, and I want to say 90% of those folks came, and then some folks came that we didn't invite. So, you know, which always happens, you know what I mean, to events, you know, somebody hears about it, oh, can I bring this person? Or they just kind of show up with them without asking.
Yep.
But no, it was cool. It was a really, really good time.
Yes.
Like I said, I can't remember, over my years, I've done several events, and not trying to be prisoner of the moment, but I think this was definitely one of the better ones that I've been a part of. You know, the weather was great, so we were able to enjoy the nice weather. Had some margaritas. Everybody networked, and that was really what we were trying to do. Is we were trying to get a lot of folks in the same room, like, because I have a lot of different relationships. So does Sophia, in different spaces. that are all tied to real estate in some form or fashion, or just business professionals. And
So we have real estate agents, CPAs, insurance people,
real estate attorney,
just, I mean, everybody.
Insurance
in regards to
even homeowners insurance agents. I mean, it was it was a lot of different folks there represented, man, and it was just cool because like I said, it was a moment where I was looking around kind of like halfway through the event when I think it was pretty much when everyone was pretty much there at that particular time. And I just saw so many people talking to each other. And I was like, oh, man, this is really cool. And I was like, it's off the strength of us putting it together. You know what I mean? And I was talking to one of my buddies that was there after the fact. And he was like, man, I made a really good connection. And he was like, I'm really glad that I came. And he was like, if you wouldn't have put this together, you know, or your team wouldn't have put this together, I would have never made that connection. So he's like, I really appreciate it. And he was like, well, when's the next one? I was like, well, dang, like, we just had this one. But it's funny because, you know, we already are in the works of thinking of putting on one here again very soon. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So what I did was, I was like, okay, well, if there's a national Margarita Day, I mean, there's got to be a national everything else. So there is, apparently.
A whole bunch of them.
Yeah, so there's National Bourbon Day. There's National Mimosa Day. There's National...
Rosé Day.
Rosé Day.
Rosé. Ricky Rouse.
Yes, there's National everything. I'm pretty sure there's a National Foot Day out there somewhere.
You might be right.
For the people with the foot fetishes.
Oh, man.
There has to be something out there. But anyway, so we do have one coming up in the works, so I'm excited about that one. And we're going to change location, which I think the new location, if they accept our proposal, that location fire too. So
yeah, that's going to be nice, man. That's going to be nice, man. I think we set the bar, though, high on this last one. So,
we did. I think the next location is going to, I mean, that's a nice location.
Oh, it is. I'm just hoping... I'm just saying,
and then
like,
the
I'm not even talking about
like
the
background, it's gonna be, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So if you are listening and you're a real estate agent or a real estate attorney, or you work with us personally, you gotta come to the next one, because if you think you had a good time in Virginia Beach Town Center, this next location is gonna top that.
Yeah, I'll give you a little hint. My man Jay-Z said, "I don't bring sand to the beach because my beach is better." So that's just a little hint of what we looking at, where we're gonna be at, you know.
That's so funny.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it was, like I said, it was a really good time. You know, we got a lot of really good feedback. I mean, I made some connections. I know Sofia made some really big connections, so I'm really excited to see, you know, kind of what happens from there with some of the folks that she talked to, that me and her talked about, that she was able to connect with. So and even our partner Laura. I mean, Laura. You know, she said she made some really good connections as well, and she's looking to build off of those too. So, you know, it's really cool, really good.
Yes, it was a what we call a good look.
Yeah, definitely a good look. Definitely a good look.
So I heard you mention that you had a college kid.
Yeah.
That you worked out with.
Yeah. So actually, that's actually what.
And you and Sherman outworked the college kid. It's hard to believe, y'all.
Look, let me look. See.
Yeah. Now he changing the story.
I'm not changing the story.
Go ahead.
You changing the story. Nah.
This is what I heard.
That's what you heard.
Yeah.
It's like that game of telephone when you grew up. When you start with one story, and by the time it goes to like the third or fourth person, it's something totally different. Well, sure. As we get older, you can just tell somebody one thing, and then it's already
now listen
different.
to this story. Go ahead.
But really, so as I've mentioned before, I got two brothers in my neighborhood that I'm really, really cool with. One's Sherman and one's Shalimar. And me and my buddy Sherman, we work out pretty much 3 to 4 times a week in the morning, around 5:30 in the morning. And so we've been at it for, I would say consistently for, probably a little over a year now. I think we had started up around January of last year, and we've been pretty consistent with it. And so we're in, like I said, relatively good shape. My man Sherman is actually, he's older than me. You know, he's got me by about 14, 15 years. So, you know, we kind of battle back and forth as far as, you know, what we do in the gym. But anyway, our buddy Shalimar, his nephew was in town. And his nephew is a high recruited D1 athlete. He's in high school. He's been recruited by, Alabama, Michigan State, Michigan. He's in high school in the Michigan area, And, I mean, all these schools have offered him full scholarships. So he pretty much has his pick at the litter of what school he wants to go to. And he has really good chances of making it pro. I mean, he's a big kid, 6'2", 230 pounds. I mean, he's a big, solid kid. And
Y'all hear this, right? And he outworked this big kid.
Yeah. So anyway, we talked about getting a workout in, and so him and Shalimar and his nephew, they both came to the gym that we work out at. And we did a workout, like a normal workout that me and Sherman do. And they both were like, man, like this is like some CrossFit type of stuff. Like this was tough because the way we work out is, we do, your basic exercises for the most part, but we do it as like circuit training. So we don't stop, So when we doing, people say supersetting where you do one exercise and you roll that into the other. Well, we superset like 4 or 5 exercises. So we just like have 4 or 5 different exercises and then we go from 1 to 2, 3, 4, and that equals 1. And we do that 4 times, and we do that 3 different times. So we end up doing a total of 12 different exercises, and it's a pretty intense workout. So anyway, at the end, I was talking to the young fella. I mean, mind you, he's like 17, and I'm 36. He was like, hey, man, y'all working hard in here, man. He was like, this remind me of some of these college workouts that I've been through or whatever. So I was like, yeah, man, we getting it in. So that kind of made me feel like, okay, I'm out here, still getting it in a little bit, because you never know. I don't know what other people are doing. I'm just kind of doing what we do or whatever. So that's what I said. I mean, it won't like my man was like, we out crazy, but I mean, he was like, yo, this was some good work. So
y'all noticed the change in his voice, right? He was trying to imitate this man being out of breath.
He was. That's what he said after we finished working out. I mean, we both were out of breath. I mean, I'm not trying to say like I was sitting here all perked up and the man was out of breath.
Why didn't you respond out of breath, though?
Because that'd have been crazy. Just kind of going back and forth. Y'all thought I was crazy on this podcast.
Okay.
You funny, man. You be trying to set me up every time, man. Every time.
I mean, you set yourself up with that one.
All right. Whatever.
Well, I'm glad that you can work out like a 17-year-old, or you comparable to a 17-year-old.
Yeah, I just want to keep my youthfulness, man. Yeah. That's all, man. Just keep my youthfulness, man. So, especially my son, I know he's gonna try me, as he gets older, man. So I got to make sure he know what time it is. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
and also, too,
I think my kids are gonna try me. Well, I think one of them gonna try me.
You think so, for real?
Yeah, my middle child.
She gonna try you?
Oh, what? Yes. Anybody has ever met her, no. She gonna try any and everybody. Especially when she become an adult. She always say it now. I can't wait to be an adult.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you don't know what these adult bills feel like.
That's what my son, he's it's funny.
I want to be like you.
Yeah, that's what my son said. He says the same thing. And because he went through a phase where he wouldn't really eat his food like that, or he would just eat like 4 different things. Like he wouldn't eat like what we would cook. So I started telling him like, hey man, if you don't eat your food, you're not gonna grow. Because his thing was he always wanted to be like an adult. Like you said, he wanted to be tall. He wanted to be an adult, and he's actually pretty tall for his age. They're expecting him to be like over 6 feet. Supposed to be pretty decently tall. So anyway, I was telling him like, hey, you don't eat your food, you can't grow. Like your food equals you growing. So now he's eating all of his food, asking for more, and every time he finishes eating, he says, "Dad, come here," and he wants to stand up beside me to see how much he's grown every single time. Sometimes cute. I kind of sometimes I'm not a tall guy, but sometimes I kind of like bend down a little bit just so he can get the visual, like, hey, it's working, like he's actually growing, like that almost every meal.
Hilarious.
But yeah, man, you know how the kids go, man. You gotta, they ask a lot of questions. They trying to figure it out, man. And it's cool, man. It gets on my nerves sometimes, but it's cool.
Crazy stories before.
I can imagine.
One in particular, my middle child. She asked, my oldest child asked me when I was pregnant with my middle child, how did I get pregnant? And where did the baby come from?
Oh.
And I was like,
so how old was she at this time?
Ready.
Like, how old is the difference between your first child?
14 and 7.
So she was like 6 years old, I guess, right?
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Okay.
Because she wanted to figure out, like, how did the baby get in there? That's ultimately.
That's an understandable question.
Listen, I didn't know what to say at first. It came to me quick. I don't even know how it got in my mind that quick. So, she knew that the baby grew in your stomach.
Okay.
And I've personally had a cesarean.
Mm-hmm.
So she knew I had a scar on my tummy, right? Okay. So I told her that my husband went to the grocery store and picked up a baby seed. And then he came home, gave it to me. I swallowed it, and then the baby started growing. And then she was like, well, how did the baby get out? I said, they cut it out. That's why I got the scar on my tummy. And she was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And walked away.
Yeah, kids will go with it. They'll go with pretty much everything that you put in them.
And it was so easy. I was like, shit, that was great. Okay, yeah.
So my question then is, because this was, you say your child is 14 now. Mm-hmm. So this was 7 years ago, roughly. Mm-hmm. Does she still believe that to this day?
Nah.
Does she know?
Yeah,
how to make babies?
Because they start having sex ed like what, 6th grade, something like that.
Well, yeah, you're right. That is true. It was in middle school. I remember I did it in middle school. Yeah, so, you're right. That's true.
And then of course I had to have that talk, and then we had to have the talk about, sex.
You got because you got another. You have 3 children, so I mean, I'm pretty sure she.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So she's Yeah.
She's hipped.
Yeah, she hipped. I mean, she's damn near in high school. I mean, I hope she knows something. I mean, she might not know like the full extent.
Yeah.
But she obviously knows what sex is. She obviously has taken some type of sex education. We've had talks about it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's started her period a few years ago. Yeah. Like we had to talk about what that means
and all that. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So she's older now. She know. But back then, I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready. Who did that? Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart. Yeah. No, I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready, but that's how my story of me having to tell my daughter I was pregnant, how I got pregnant, how that went. So she went with it.
That's funny. And so I know since we just kind of like I say funny topics or just kind of like not mortgage or real estate related. I know it was a question you asked me when we walked in this morning. You said you had heard on the Breakfast Club.
Yes, I did a lot this morning. I was on the phone with my cousin and listening to the Breakfast Club all at the same time. But so Charlamagne asked, or they were actually taking in calls. So you know how they have that segment where they get the public's opinion.
Yeah.
Well, they were taking in calls, and the question of the day was, how often do you change your towels?
How often you change your towels?
Yeah, like when you shower.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so then they started talking about like how it can potentially stink. And they started talking about like, do you share towels with your spouse?
Okay. Yeah.
And so one of them basically said that they use their wife's towel when they get out the shower.
Okay.
And then the wife gets a new one, apparently.
Okay.
It's like they recycle the towels.
Gotcha. So like she uses the towel. She uses like when you say towel, you're talking about like the towel you put on, like you dry yourself with out the shower.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he said that she uses a towel, then he uses her towel, then she just puts it in the hamper or whatever, dirty clothes, and then they start that whole process over.
That's kind of how I took it, but then at the same time, they said that they don't switch towels every day. So they use it for like, I don't know, a few days.
So what do you do? Do you and your spouse share?
Hell no. I don't even believe in sharing a toothbrush. I don't care if we kiss. I don't care what we do in the bedroom. But I ain't sharing no toothbrush. This is certain things I want for myself, and that includes a toothbrush and a towel.
I'm with you on the toothbrush. I think that is kind of, I don't know, kind of nasty. I mean, don't get me wrong, a one-off where it's like, let's say we traveling and we on vacation and like, I don't know, like I can't get a toothbrush until later that day and I really got to brush my teeth. Like I would rather brush my teeth and say, ooh, I use my spouse's toothbrush than to go out there and my breath just be stinking and go crazy. Like to me, I got to look at like, what's the alternative? You know what I'm saying? So,
I've actually left my toothbrush at home. Matter of fact, when I was in Chicago, and I still wasn't sharing a toothbrush. I literally walked downstairs. I stayed at the JW Marriott.
Okay.
In downtown. I believe that's where I stayed. I can't remember, but I ended up finding like a toothbrush somehow. I don't know if I called the hotel, because you know how they have those generic toothbrushes, the one that are like $1.
Yeah.
But it gives you the opportunity to brush your teeth. So I think I might have used that one. And then when we were out for the day, I went to a bodega. and got like a soft, a regular toothbrush that isn't so hard on your gums.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't share. I said, it's just certain things that I like for me.
Yeah.
Even with my kids, it's certain things where I'm like, look, I ain't sharing with y'all. Y'all took all my life. This is for me.
So for me, I feel you on that one. So for me, when it comes to bath towels, I use my own. I don't share with my spouse. Now I will do. I don't know what their response was. I don't want y'all to start judging me and think I'm nasty. I don't know. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I should say this. Should I say this?
Mm-mm.
Hold back now?
Yeah, hold back.
Hold back? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, hopefully it ain't 2 weeks.
Huh?
It ain't 2 weeks, is it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
So
you
what
I was
going to say.
No,
heck no. That's
changing your
disgusting.
towels. That was also a thing.
Yeah, that's disgusting. So no, what I was going to say is what I do sometimes is after I take a shower, I will use that same towel for the next time. But 2 is my max. Like as far as like if I take a shower and dry myself off.
You could take a shower twice in one day.
That's what I'm saying.
On what you're doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And for me, because that's what I would normally do. Like, because I'll take a shower like in the morning after I've worked out in the morning. So I'll take a shower, and then like if I take another shower later on that evening, like I don't know, I would feel like, man, I'm using so many towels, and I would like always be out of towels when it comes to like laundry. And my the amount of times I do laundry wasn't catching up to that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do every other one. Yeah. You know what I mean? So sometimes, depending on if I'm like really sweating really a lot, then I'll just use another one. So that ain't nasty, right? That ain't crazy, is it?
That ain't crazy.
Okay.
Now, look, do you, this is so off topic. It's the people, do you use, I've heard of people not even using washcloths, and they use their hands to wash up.
I'm kind of guilty of that one. I'm guilty of that one.
No loofah? No nothing.
No loofah? What is a loofah?
Like the little thing that's
like an sponge
exfoliator. Yeah.
Nah.
That's.
But look though, let me tell you. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you though. There's a reason that I do that. It's a method behind my madness when it comes to that. So I used to use washcloths, but when I looked it up, I remember somebody had told me. I think it was like in a barbershop. It was like a random conversation I had with somebody. But they were like, yo, that stuff holds so much dirt and germs when you use a washcloth. They were like, it's actually more, as far as like a hygienist, it's like I don't know, it's like proven to, it's better to use just your hands and do it. Or like you said, maybe a loofah or something. But typically a washcloth has so much germs and stuff. Even when you've washed it, even if you've used it a couple times and you put it through the washing machine, it has so much germs on it. It's better to just use like soap, or like, if you have like, I don't know if you use like body wash or whatever, like it's better to use your hands. I actually looked that up. This was many years ago. It's probably like at least like 10 years ago, and that was the truth. And I think I even asked my doctor that, and they said like, it's really kind of however you want to go, but it is, a little bit more, less germs, I guess you can say, by using just not using a washcloth. So you look it up, y'all out there.
I've actually looked it up before, and I'm still gonna wash my ass with towels. That's just what I'm gonna do.
So you're a washcloth person, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it, but I don't use the same washcloth for my body that I do for my face, and I purposely buy colors to determine which ones are for my face and which ones are for my body.
Oh wow!
And
take
it to the next notch. I don't share towels with my kids. So they have their own towels, their own set of towels. And I have my own, and we don't even commingle washing them. And I typically run my towels twice before I put them in the dryer. Okay, so I wash them.
Next level. Yeah,
I wash them with like soap and stuff or detergent. And then I run a cycle with just water. And then I put them in the dryer.
Interesting.
With just the towels, though. Nothing.
Now, question. I feel like we kind of went south, but I mean, we here. We there. We on I-95 right now. We going south.
Right.
All right. So, when it comes to, I know you were talking about toothbrush and stuff like that. This is something that Brooke and I, at our house, she's like, I'm willing to do it. I don't mind it, but she's like, no, don't do it. But like, as far as drinking behind your spouse, like, how do you feel about that? Like, if you're, let's say, I don't know.
Oh, I don't mind that, but I don't.
You guys are drinking. One of you has a drink. And you're like, oh, I want some. Like, like, are you same straw, same like whatever? If it's like, I don't know, a soda can where you have to like put your mouth on the exact same spot, like are you tripping because of that, or it's just like whatever?
Well, for me, it is like whatever, but at the same time, I typically just drink water for the most part. I
Maybe like a water bottle. If you have like a water bottle, you guzzling a water bottle. Oh, I'm thirsty too. Boom.
No, we don't share water bottles.
Okay.
But like, let's say there's an alcohol beverage, because we also don't drink the same alcohol. Yeah, I drink. I used to drink the same alcohol. I used to drink Ciroc a lot, but I stopped because of the high sugar content, and he still drinks that.
Okay.
And so I don't drink his alcohol, and he doesn't drink mine, just from like that's not what we drink. Yeah. So we don't have no reason to share that, right? And then as far as like water, we don't really have a reason to, and I'm never gonna drink juice at the house. Every now and again I might have some, but it's not too often. Gotcha. My go-to is pretty much water, and his is pretty much juice.
Well, I guess, but obviously it sounds like the
but that doesn't. I would never be like, oh my God, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just asking. I was just curious.
Yeah, I wouldn't purposely be like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Gotcha.
Y'all already kissing.
Yeah.
But the toothbrush is different though. That's where
real different.
That's where you take the plaque off and the meat in your teeth and stuff like that. Like, I ain't trying to share that with you.
Yeah, that's different. That's definitely different. I agree.
Now I don't really share with my kids because kids backwash. So that's the same as using
we all backwash, man. When you drink, we all drinking backwash.
Like food and it's a whole nother level with kids. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because they don't know. I mean, they don't know. Yeah. Like, they just yeah.
Anyway, way off subject. Let's jump back into mortgage.
Yeah.
All right. So the next segment for today is exercise your knowledge. So every week we like to ask a mortgage related question to see how game you are in the mortgage industry. So we want to determine if this is something that you know. So you're going to listen to the question, possibly come up with the answer. And don't worry, we got you back because we're going to reveal the answer to this question later on in the segment. So today's exercise your knowledge question is, who backs, aka or insures, the FHA loan?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So for all you people out there who, have utilized the FHA loan, or maybe you're looking to utilize the FHA loan, who's backing your loan? Who insures it? Like, how are you able to even get this loan?
Correct. It's a good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah, a lot of folks get the loans, but you don't necessarily know, how that loan is being guaranteed or how it's being insured, that you're actually getting that money for that loan. So,
Exactly. So we will reveal the answer to that question later on in this segment. But today's topic is FHA, their decrease in their PMI and the VA reduced funding fee. So we're going to give you like a broad outline of the two products kind of as a recap, and then we'll jump into what that means for these changes.
Yeah. This week and last week there's been some changes to the FHA loan and the VA loan and some of their fees that are being charged, and they've actually been good changes. And really, I was thinking about it too, man, with the changes, especially FHA, with the changes that have happened, because we've talked about it before. There's 4 major loan types out there. There's VA, FHA, conventional, and USDA, and the ones. If you're not military, obviously you can't do VA. If you're not living in a rural area, you can't do USDA. You can't USDA. So a lot of times, it's depending on your credit, depending on whatever, your debt to income ratio, you're going to be picking between FHA and conventional. And FHA is looked at as kind of that loan that is a little bit more riskier. It has a lower credit requirement. So you're able to get financing if your score is little on the lower end. Conventional has a little bit more of a higher criteria when it comes to debt to income and credit requirement. So you see a lot more FHA loans than conventional just because of the amount of people and their credit situation.
Correct.
But obviously, with anything, it comes with a cost. FHA has mortgage insurance, right? So they have that monthly PMI that is a part of your mortgage payment, and they have a fixed amount, which is 0.85, right? So what that means is that whatever your loan amount is, so whatever amount that you're actually getting for that loan, your payment consists of, as we talked about before, principal and interest, taxes, and homeowners insurance. But if you're in a situation where you're getting an FHA loan, you're also paying mortgage insurance, private mortgage insurance, and it was a fixed amount. It was 0.85. So with housing prices continuing to grow, that 0.85 could be a lot. I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars that is being added into your mortgage payment for private mortgage insurance. But with one of the new changes that came out this past week, FHA has reduced that fixed amount for PMI from 0.85 down to 0.55. So it went down about, almost a third, I would say. Yeah, 0.3. So that's really good, So like I said, that will, honestly now rival kind of what the mortgage insurance is on conventional loans. Because conventional loans, they also have mortgage insurance, but typically because of your credit score, the mortgage insurance is less. And depending upon how high your credit is, the lower the mortgage insurance is, and also how much money you put down, the lower the mortgage insurance is as well. So that's a big win. I mean, that's something that I feel, will allow people to qualify more, right? Because if there's less mortgage insurance that's being added into your payment, that just gives that person more buying power because your debt to income ratio is what determines how much you qualify for.
Correct.
So that's a huge win.
It sure is. It's definitely a huge win. I mean, it's going to help with reducing the monthly payment because we have a lot of buyers that are out there, right? They're looking to purchase and their price range is, let's say, $250,000. Well, on a $250,000 loan, I mean, you're paying almost $2,000 a month. So with this reduction in the PMI, it's actually reducing your monthly mortgage payment, which helps our buyers because now they're not obligated to pay as much monthly. So that 0.3%, I know it sounds like, very small, but when it comes to such a large balance, it actually helps with the payment tremendously. So
They
it's
said
a great
on average,
change.
Yeah, they said on average it's going to probably be about, like $150 to $200 a month. It's kind of like what it's now freed up for most folks, depending upon their purchase price point. So that's good. Like I said, that's huge. That allows you to either just have a lesser payment or allows you to qualify for a little bit more, just depending upon, which way you want to look at it.
It does. It does. And just to kind of like give you a little bit more information regarding the FHA loan. So no matter, if you put down 20% or 10% or whatever amount you're looking to put down, or if you take advantage of just the small 3.5% down payment requirement, you're still going to be obligated to pay that PMI. It never goes away.
Correct.
You do get a reduced amount. So I believe if you put down, 5 or 10%?
Correct.
They'll reduce it now to 0.5% as opposed to the new amount of 0.55%. But it's always there. So if you're looking, or if you are in an FHA loan and you have 80% LTV and your credit has gotten, better, you could potentially refinance into a conventional loan and potentially take away that mortgage premium.
And honestly, I think that's what's going to happen now. Just like you said, I think a lot more folks, instead of going conventional initially, let's say they have really good credit and they qualify for a conventional loan, and they can initially go conventional, right? And conventional, you have to put down at least 5% unless you're a first-time home buyer, right? I think a lot more folks are going to go ahead and go FHA first, right? Because FHA is going to probably have a little bit better of an interest rate, and it's also the mortgage insurance is going to be pretty comparable on both. The only difference is going to be that mortgage insurance premium that's put on the front of your loan on an FHA loan that conventional doesn't have. So, that's obviously something that you got to take in consideration. But a lot of folks, they don't necessarily wary about that, I would say, for the most part.
No,
especially
they're
if you
just
plan
worried
to,
about the monthly payment.
yeah, they're just worried about that monthly payment, exactly, for the most part. So having that mortgage insurance premium on the front of the loan won't deter most buyers out there to choosing an FHA loan over a conventional loan. So now, I mean, FHA, when it comes to the monthly payment rates, all that's going to be very considerably, very close to what a conventional loan could do. So they'll take advantage maybe of a lower payment going FHA first, and then once they get to the point where they're at that 80% loan to value, then they'll just refi into that conventional loan and being able to kind of get the best of both worlds, as you can say. So, yeah, I definitely think people who are thinking about it like that strategically, they're probably going to do that. And I'll actually advise a lot more folks upon that. Like, I'll give you your options, but I'll say, hey, this is kind of a way that you can kind of do it, to kind of work around, especially if you plan to be in the home for a while.
Yes.
And most people refinance at some point in time. I forget the percentages, but it's over half. It's over 50% of folks, they refinance their mortgage. So their mortgage doesn't stay the same from the first day they bought it to when they end up selling it or to when they end up moving or just paying it all off. So
that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And the other new change that came out was the VA's funding fee. Yeah. And so when I first came into the industry, the VA funding fee was not what it is now. Currently, the VA funding fee is 2.3% of that loan amount, but you can finance it right back into the loan. So it's a fee that you pay in order for the VA to back your loan, right? And that's for your first-time home buyers. Well, they have now reduced it back down to what it was a few years ago. So now, instead of you paying 2.3% for first-time buyers, your VA funding fee is now 2.15%.
Yeah.
Now, that's for your first-time home buyers, right? So that's for someone who's never used their VA home loan benefit before. For you people who have used it before, whether it was 10, 20 years ago and you're buying now again, or if you purchased a few years ago, at that point, you're considered a subsequent user or a subsequent usage. And so your VA funding fee is a little bit different from a first-time home buyer. As of today, right now, the VA funding fee for someone who has used their VA benefit before is 3.6%?
Yeah, it's 3.6%.
And so now it's being reduced to 3.3%. So that's
also
huge.
what it used to be as well. That's what it used to be before. Yeah,
it used to be before, and now they've kind of reduced it a little bit. I think that they increased it just to kind of keep up with the way the market was, and I believe that the VA is probably now they're trying to give a break in how much people are paying. So they reduced it for now. This isn't set in stone. This is just, what it is for now. They can definitely change it in the future, but the reduction is great because it helps in any way.
Yeah, it helps cost. I mean, it just helps, like I said, people are already getting a boatload of money from interest alone on a mortgage, right? So, I mean, there's, so now the mortgage insurance premium, the funding fee, all these other fees and fees and fees and fees. I mean, these are a lot of fees that are being charged. And, I mean, they can relax them a little bit. Yeah, they can add up, man. So, to kind of scale it back a little bit and not charge as much, I think is definitely a win. I mean, we got to count all of our wins when we get them. So, I definitely think that's a win. And it's crazy because I remember when I first got into the mortgage business, around like 07, 08, this was right when the Obama administration came in. I remember him talking about trying to do exactly what is being done now for FHA loans. So, I mean, it's crazy. That's like over 15 years ago. So now it's finally happening.
Finally.
So, yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man.
Hopefully we don't have to wait that long for the student loans to be forgiven.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, man. But it sounds like, from my understanding, they're trying to work it out. But I mean, that's a lot of forgiveness, a lot of money being forgiven because a lot of people got student loans, man. That's a lot. They said some type of, I think in Texas somewhere, they said it was unlawful to do it, and so now they're kind of going through all the whole process to try to figure it out and see if maybe they can make some tweaks to it to make it a little bit better, a little bit beneficial.
I think that what's happening is that some people who are not being approved for the forgiveness are butthurt because they make a lot of money, but they feel left out. So we live in a Me Too environment.
100%.
So when they feel left out, they have to raise their hand and say, well, what about us? What did we get?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, I mean, don't quote me, but they're probably going to give them some type of tax exemption to kind of like even it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know also, I wanted to touch on this too. So there's always this conception that the VA home loan program is 100% down payment. Most people utilize that, but that's not always the case. So with the VA loan, although you can finance 100%, you don't have to. And the VA actually gives you a discount on your funding fee when you decide to put money down. So those funding fees have reduced as well. So if you are a VA buyer and you're looking to put down at least 5%, they actually reduce your VA funding fee from 2.15% down to 1.5%. So that's huge, especially if you know you want to put money down. I mean, we have some people who are VA and they may have purchased a home before and they have all this equity and they're like, well, shoot, I don't want to have to pay, a high monthly payment. I'll just go ahead and take the proceeds from my old house and contribute it to my new house. So with that being said, the VA also gives them a reduction in the funding fee. And if you want to take it to the next step and put down 10%, they'll actually reduce it down to 1.25%. So coming from, 3.3%, and if you're making a down payment of 10% and they reduce it all the way down to 1.25%, I mean, you're saving a lot of money, most definitely.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind for the VA home buyers that don't mind making a down payment. Because you have the ability to finance at 100% does not mean that you are required to. So you can still make down payments towards your VA home loan. So
Yeah.
definitely want to put that out there and make sure that you're aware that it can happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I mean, you could do the same thing with FHA. You could do the same thing with, obviously, your conventional. It's just that there are minimum requirements. So some of those do have minimum requirements.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's huge. Great news. Hopefully, we can get more buyers ready for this upcoming moving season. We get a lot of buyers that wait until school is out before they decide to buy, just because they don't want to switch schools at the end of the year. They want their kids to kind of finish out the school year. And so with that being said, these new changes could increase the amount of buyers that are coming up here in May. And when we have a lot of buyers and we have low inventory, that means that your negotiating power may change here soon. So we've been seeing a lot of buyers get closing cost assistance. We've been seeing them, with the 2-1 buy downs and things like that because of how the rates were. Well, now that, we get these changes, things can change when you're out there shopping. So we may go back into another season of not getting closing cost assistance. So definitely prepare for your new purchases. Save as much money as you can. Work on that credit. Make sure you don't have collections hitting your accounts. Make sure you're not switching jobs in the middle of a transaction.
Please don't do that.
Just make sure you're ready. If you're self-employed, please be prepared. Don't write off everything. Make sure you get with your CPA. Make sure you have a good understanding as to how your income works, because that's another thing. We have a lot of self-employed borrowers that don't even know how much money they made.
Absolutely.
They have no clue.
Yeah.
That's
true, man. Yeah, so it's definitely some good news, like I said, like Sophia said, as far as some of the fees being reduced. I'm definitely excited. It's funny, I have a buyer who's doing a loan, that new program that we mentioned, Chenoa. They're doing it's an FHA loan, but they're getting down payment assistance through Chenoa. And so these changes that we just talked about, especially the FHA ones, they don't necessarily start until March 20th. That's when they'll actually change. But we got guidance that any loan that closes as of today, they're able to have that reduction in the mortgage insurance, the private mortgage insurance. So, I got a buyer right now, man. He's buying a $400,000 house, and so his mortgage insurance, it was like $380 a month. And so now with this reduction, it's down to like $200
Oh, wow.
So I mean, that's like I said, $180 difference.
Yes.
And so he's excited. You know, he was already kind of where we were talking, like, his rates, you know, a little bit higher now, and with them being at the higher price point.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, dang, man. So now this actually is going to put him right back in that zone of where he thought his payment would be.
Yeah.
And he's a lot more comfortable. So he was ecstatic, you know,
That
with
great
this news.
news.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
so,
imagine. If I was a buyer and I got that information, I would be like, oh my God, this is the best loan officer ever. How the heck they make this happen? I'll be telling all my friends.
Shameless plug. There we go. Yeah. Yep.
Now, the VA home loan funding fee reduction, it doesn't go into effect until April 7th. But if you're a buyer that's looking to purchase now and you don't have a close date until after April 7th, I mean, we could definitely still allow the lower VA funding fee. But if you close anytime before April 7th, yo. may the Lord be with you.
You silly, man.
So I hope that all this information was great news. I hope that it got some of you guys excited out there and you're ready to buy. And when you are, definitely call us.
Absolutely.
Call us.
Call us.
All right, guys. So great information. FHA, VA. More to come. Hopefully we start getting, more good news throughout the season, but we definitely want to circle back to exercise your knowledge. So earlier in the segment, we asked a mortgage-related question, and we wanted to know if this is something that you can answer off the top of your head, because I feel like this one is it's a fairly easy question. I mean, you don't have to really necessarily be in the mortgage industry to understand, like, who's backing you, right? I know I want to know who got my back. I mean, in every way, right?
Yeah, me too.
Who
Who got your back, Sophia?
Man, I don't know. No,
See, I got you on the spot.
I
was expecting an answer like you gave your daughter about this. You know, I thought you was gonna go down the path with me about a.
But listen, it depends on what it is, right? In life, I know my family got my back, right?
It's good. Yeah.
At work, I think you got my back, right?
100%.
And Laura, I think shoot, even my manager. I think my manager's great. I call him up and be like, hey, I need this. He like, okay.
Yeah.
I think he's great.
Yeah.
I think that, when it comes to like life and stuff like that, I think that my daughter Maya, she got my back. I mean, she understands. I mean, I think that when you use that term, I didn't know how to answer it like wholly, but I do have different things in my life where I'm like, okay, these different people got my back.
Of course.
Who got your back?
My family and friends. You know what I mean?
Look,
wife got my back. I know she got my back.
Right.
My kids got my back.
See?
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Like I said,
you had to think about it for a second, though. You had to think about it.
I won't lie to you. You paused hard. Like, I was ready.
After listening to me.
Nah, I knew.
You had time to think. You was like, oh, yeah.
I knew what it was. I don't got my back. You know what I'm saying? My best friend. Like, everybody got my back. All my loved ones got my back. My mom, my dad, my sister. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. See, before like 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh yeah, my dad got my back all day.
Yeah.
I can't say that no more, so I had to like think about it. You know what I mean? You got to think about the living, right?
I got you.
I mean, I think he still got my back. Even
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
But I can't call him.
Yeah.
So it's different, right?
I got you.
All right, so back to this exercise your knowledge question, because I feel like we keep getting off subject. But today,
we're talking a lot more BS this.
We are.
Yeah.
So, the question that we asked earlier was, who backs or insures the FHA loan? Right.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
All right. The answer is the government.
Woo!
The
government got your back.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound ironic?
Right. Yeah, so obviously, I think we talked about it before. FHA stands for Federal Housing Administration.
Yes.
So that name in itself, you can kind of, say, hey, what that means, and that's a government entity. Mm-hmm. So, the government is who backs and insures the FHA loan.
Yes, and that's the reason why the government was so heavily involved in the changes that were made to that PMI premium. So,
Correct.
I mean, PMI insurance. So, that it speaks for itself, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Government, man.
The government in this situation got your back.
Got your back.
I can't speak for all situations, but I can definitely speak for this one.
For
They
this one,
looked out on this one, y'all.
They got us for this one. Definitely got us for this one.
They definitely did. I guess they figured, well, inflation, high interest rates. I mean, we can do something.
Yeah, at least we can do is this, right?
The least we can do is reduce this. Yeah. So hopefully, hopefully that actually triggers conventional loans to make a change. I mean, as of right now, FHA is going to be like really comparable to your best conventional loan that's out there. So even the person with the best credit can make the best down payment. Well, I ain't gonna say the best down payment, but that's making the minimum down payment. The FHA loan now is going to be pretty comparable. Yeah. I think so.
I agree.
Especially when it comes to payment. I mean, I ran numbers last night for someone with this new PMI, the payment was actually lower than a conventional.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
it makes sense.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
And it's going to help a lot of our buyers.
I agree.
So what's coming up next? I know for me, I'm heading out of town today.
Uh-oh.
I'm excited. I'm going to Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah.
What they call it? Queen City.
I guess so. I don't know. I ain't know that, but.
Oh, you know that was called the Queen City?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, us Carolina heads, man.
Why is it called that?
Now, that part, I don't know.
Oh, well, you ain't really
but I know it's called the Queen City. I'm pretty sure.
Rep VA.
You said what? What'd you say? You said something coming from me again, man?
I said, you ain't really from Carolina.
Oh, my
Keep
God.
repping VA.
I was raised in Virginia.
You were born where?
I was born in Providence, Rhode Island,
okay.
actually. Yeah,
You
I was born in Providence, Rhode Island. But You lived in North Carolina? I lived in North Carolina.
For how long?
For 6 years.
Okay. And then you moved to VA?
Yeah, then I moved to VA, and I've been in Virginia ever since.
Okay. Y'all plan on moving anywhere else?
Nah.
No? You're going to be in VA for the Lord?
Yeah. I mean, I plan to... I have property, like, in Carolina. I plan to have property so I can, like, short-term stay in other places. But as far as, like, where I live, like...
Yeah.
Raise my family. Like Virginia, I mean, it has it all. I mean, I don't feel like there's no other place out here that I've established so many roots here. Why would I go somewhere else?
Yeah, okay. The roots I can get
Virginia got, I know you be hating, man, but Virginia got a lot. Virginia got a lot to offer, man. If you look, I know they had those lists every time.
I've lived in different places as an adult, so I've seen more. You haven't lived in different places as an adult, right? I'm asking.
I've seen a lot.
I didn't say did you see. I said have you lived?
Yeah. Well, no, I've lived it. I told you, I've lived in Virginia.
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying? But I mean, when you say seen though, I mean I've seen
it's
and
different.
I have other people.
Visiting is different
but
from
living. I have friends that live all over the place though. I have a lot of military friends that live in all different types of states.
What does that have
lived
to do
in
with
Virginia.
You?
And I mean, I talk to them, and the majority of them say like Virginia is. As far as for their family, it's always like they get this. It's like a trade off. Like, at least for me, how I want my life to be, Virginia offers everything I need. So I mean, that's what it comes down to me. Some people want to, have more, downtown and have that lifestyle more. So, for me, I'm okay with not having that. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with traveling and experiencing that. Like, I don't have to necessarily have that at my fingertips every day, but I want to have good schools. I like being near the water. We have that. I like being.
How often do you go to the beach?
How often I go to the beach? Probably 5 to 7 times a year.
Okay.
I wanna say. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even go to the beach. I live not far from Bryan, and I don't really deal with Virginia Beach.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I honestly.
I'm actually pretty good on the Pepsi water.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I just like the whole just.
And if you're from Virginia, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like going to the beach. It's just relaxing. It's just being being with nature, man. I mean, I just like that part of it. Like,
That's
I mean,
true.
mine is I don't have to get in the water to really still and experience the beach. But yeah, like I said, for me, Virginia. I mean, I got folks that live in New York, Atlanta, all these places that everybody loves to live in. But then when they live there, they're like, like I like it, like it offers this. But I gotta drive this far to do this, and this is an inconvenience, and this. Like I feel like on the overall scale, and this is, I mean. Remember, I've seen every year they come out with the list of like the best places to live, and Virginia is always in the top 10. Virginia Beach specifically is always in the top 10 cities to live in the United States. So yeah, I'll hold it down. I'm gonna rep Virginia Beach, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, North Carolina boy. All right, so.
But you said you're going to Charlotte this weekend. What's going on this weekend?
Nothing. I'm just leaving.
You said just
vacation.
leaving?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's been a minute.
Is it
I ain't went
the fam? Everybody going?
time.
Just you?
Well, me and the kids because my husband got duty.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And then my other cousin, I think he's trying to get me to come up there, and I'm like, nope, I'm already headed to Charlotte. You should have told me ahead of time. He always waits to the last minute to try to make plans. Or he waits to the last minute and cancel plans. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but my life don't work like that. I have to know ahead of time what I'm going to be doing. Like, sometimes it's cool, like if me and the kids get up and we want to go out to eat, spur of the moment, or if we want to go, play games spur of the moment, but you're talking about traveling spur of the moment. It don't work like that when you got little kids. You can't just do that. I mean, you can, but it's not the best.
Oh no, I feel you. I mean, I'm
thing to do.
I mean, for me in my life, man, like I can't just react and do anything. Like I mean, literally, even if it's just going like somewhere like it's not even out of town, like I have to know a week or so in advance. Like because my life is pretty much planned out and routine,
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like certain things, okay, cool. Like if I wake up today and we ain't got really nothing to do and it's a free day and I'm like, oh, well, let's go to the park. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? But all, going out of town, I can't do that one. That one I can't do. But anyway, so outside of that.
Charlotte should be fun.
Charlotte's going to be fun.
Yourself, man. Be safe. Y'all driving or flying?
We're going to drive.
Driving, yeah. Be safe on that road, man.
Yeah. Outside of that, I found a new tenant, and they're signing today. So, as I'm driving, they should be signing, and I should be going straight to celebrate. That's exciting. I'm excited about that. Upcoming, I'm having my first chiropractic appointment. My first adjustment, actually, is going to be happening when I get back, pretty much. So cool. I'm excited about that. And then, unfortunately, we're going to be missing out on Amaya's volleyball game this weekend. But even though they made the playoffs, they ain't going to win for real.
Dang.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're number 5. So the top 6 teams is who makes the playoffs. They're number 5.
So?
They play the same people.
I don't mean nothing. You never know what happens.
Well, we ain't going to be there,
so
tell
me,
luck.
Your daughter plays volleyball, right? I played sports my whole life. So you trying to tell me there's never been a situation where she's lost to a team and then she's played that same team and they've won? It's got to have happened before.
At this place? No.
I'm just talking about in general. I mean...
Oh, yeah, in general, yes. But at here...
But what makes that place so different?
Because the girls... from my understanding, and I could be wrong, but this is just, hearsay. Kind of like how you heard about these other cities being worse than Virginia. Hearsay. You didn't experience it, y'all. But anyway.
So every city I'm talking about. I've been in every city.
So this is hearsay, but I've heard that the girls that are on the better teams, they're older than the girls. Like the girls that my daughter play with, they're young, so they're not as experienced as far as like skill level. And so that's what I'm hearing. And when you look at these girls, I mean, these girls do look like they in high school. They some pretty big girls, and they're actually good. Not saying that my daughter's team sucks, because they've come a long way. Like, they hang it in there, obviously, if they in the top 6. But I do think that as far as skills go, they have better, what you call the people that hit, hitters, right? Or no, servers. They have better servers. All the girls on my daughter's team, outside of 2 girls, they still underhand serve. And actually, when you play volleyball, you're not supposed to serve underhand. And then the girls on these more higher level teams, but within the same bracket, everybody's serving overhand with strength. So it's just a different. I've coached, obviously. And I ain't saying I'm the best coach out there, but I've seen a good amount of girls play volleyball. And just from what I've seen, I'm just being realistic, I know you optimistic. I'm
my
realistic.
Mind different. Yeah, my mind different. I'm like, we on the same court. Hey, we got the opportunity to win. That's why you play the game. That's why they said. That's why you play the game. You never know what happens.
That's true.
Because if you knew, you wouldn't even play. You know what I mean? But I get it though.
Yeah. What you got going on this week?
This weekend, nothing really. Well, tonight should be fun. Me and my buddies, the 2 fellas I always mention, Sherman and Shalimar. Mm-hmm. I guess you can say we have a fellas evening, I guess you want to call it. I can't even say night because, we don't. I'm going to be home probably by like 8, 9 o'clock, you know what I mean? But, yeah, but around like 6, We're gonna go. It's a newer restaurant called Neat Bird in the Summit Point, Chesapeake area.
Okay.
So we're gonna go check out, get some food and some drinks there. Then there's even a brand new restaurant that just opened up. I want to say this week. But I mean, they have
this week.
Yeah, they have reservations. I was looking at the reservation list. Yeah, Cork and Bull. Yeah, their reservation list is. I mean, you can't. It's already booked until like late March, early April. But I might see if we can maybe pop in like at maybe like the bar or something, and just kind of see what the place looks like inside.
Yeah.
And then also in that same immediate area is my go-to spot, Old Luce.
Yeah.
So I may stop through there and grab a cocktail as well. So we'll see. But I know, other fellas will get together. We actually, which is exciting, I can announce it here. Well, not announce it, but just kind of mention it here. I know y'all folks out there listening are going to hold me accountable. But we're looking at potentially opening up a cigar lounge. So that's something that really has piqued our interest. All three of us are
so y'all
cigar users.
Canvas the area tonight too?
Yeah, kind of see. I mean, that area is an up-and-coming area. It has nice restaurants. I say it's a certain type of class of folks that...
Did you see that they're clearing all the trees? Remember that old Mitsubishi factory?
Where? In the same area?
Yeah, like right next to...
I'll have to look at it when I get there.
Yeah, so when you guys... Because you're going to take Battlefield to get there?
No, I'll probably take... Coming from my house, I'll take Greenbrier. I come the back way. I come down Greenbrier.
Okay.
Yeah, so I go down...
Try taking Battlefield. If you can, I mean, that's up to
I'll
you.
take a look at what you're talking about.
But when you come down, you'll pass it. They've knocked down all the trees. I think they're getting ready to build buildings there, too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I think that they're trying to turn this little area into basically a Chesapeake town center. So
that's dope.
Yeah,
I'm
if
glad
you guys are looking to really, really move forward on that in that area specifically, definitely jump on it now because based on what I see, it's definitely looking like it's up and coming, and it'll be a great spot.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately I can't do cigars, but I can't support that one.
Yeah, that's all good. It's all good. But yeah, that's something that we've. I mean, it's really happened pretty fast over the last week. We've talked about it, so I think it's something also we're going to talk about in depth tonight when we get together. Kind of really see exactly what that looks like. But I mean, we already gotten logos, names, and all that stuff. Kind of, LLC created for it and all that stuff.
Hey.
So yeah, so it's moving. So definitely excited about that. I love being a part of that startup of a venture and seeing it through. That's something I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
So I got that going on tonight, kicking it with the fellas. Tomorrow, my son has what's called the Bestie Fest at his school, and it's basically where
you bring a bestie,
you bring your best friend,
Aww.
and so and so
that's
most
cute.
people it's their parents, right? I mean, because the kids are all. My son is 4, so so he loves this thing.
So is it just you and him, or is it everybody going?
Oh, just me and him. Yeah,
okay, that's
just me.
Cool.
Yeah, just me and him. Yeah, you're supposed to just bring one person. Yeah. So it's just gonna be me and him. So it's cool. They have music. You dance. You know what I mean? It's just a really good time, a real joyous occasion. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. We were talking about. I dropped him off at school this morning, and he was talking about it. He was excited about it. He said all his classmates were talking about it. So I'm really looking forward to that. And it's funny, my son, he's like me, but he expresses it in a different way.
Yeah.
So when something big is about to happen, he gets really nervous, and he just starts talking. He just starts to talk and move and just he tries to he's so nervous. You know what I mean?
Doesn't even know what he's saying. He's just saying shit.
Yeah. And for me, when something is getting ready to happen, I'm kind of nervous about. Maybe it's an important event, or just an important situation that I'm about to be in or whatever. I'll get quiet because I really like to try to I'm a visionary. I try to think about it, try to envision it, so when it happens, I feel like I'm fully prepared for it. But my son, the way when something comes up, he's the opposite, where he just gets more talkative, more he just starts dancing, just doing stuff just to kind of I think get his mind off of it.
Yeah.
Because he's so nervous, about it and anxious about it. So yeah, he's already starting to do that, and I know tomorrow morning, at the basketball game, I'm already expecting him to kind of go crazy and stuff because he's going to be thinking about that the whole time. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what my weekend is. Pretty much those two things, and then that's really it. Really,
nice.
Just kind of relax with the fam the rest of the weekend.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna check out some cool things in Charlotte. It's a planetarium. We're gonna do a nice brunch. We're gonna hang out, have adult time. I mean, we're gonna be doing something with the kids and not with the kids. So that's going to
cool.
be cool. I have to put my dog in the, what is it called? The like when you drop them off, almost like a babysitter.
Okay,
But it's for dogs.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Because she can't come with us on this trip, but I'll be doing that later today. And because my husband, since he's on duty, I mean, he can't leave the ship until Monday. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time. I'm excited.
That sounds cool.
I'm ready.
Sounds cool.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But look at me. I was here for this.
There we
You
go.
see that?
Dedication.
Dedication.
Yeah. I like
Even
that.
though
Appreciate
I'm
it.
leaving, I'm here today. I could have been in Charlotte right now. Y'all hear that? Right now, I could have been in Charlotte. No, but we always like to leave you guys on a positive note. So today's quote of the day is: when things aren't going well for you, make things better for someone else.
Yes. Yeah, that's a quote that I heard earlier this week, and it resonated with me, and I wanted to share it today because, they say misery loves company.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I know that when, let's say you're having a bad day, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, you
gravitate towards the people who are having a bad day.
Yeah, or you just give off bad energy, and then you could also cause another person to have a bad day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that negative energy spreads, and a lot of times you may not necessarily know that you're doing it, but you are doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's very important, and what I feel is by being a blessing to someone else. So when you, let's say, maybe not are feeling the greatest, had a bad day, you could help somebody or give some jovial energy to someone else, and that can make them happy, which in return then can make you happy, right? Mm-hmm. So that's just pouring something into someone else that you could potentially receive back, right? And I'm not saying that you're looking to do that for that reason, but just being, a light to someone, even if you're maybe not necessarily feeling, you're the best, right?
Yeah.
You're not feeling the greatest that day. And so that's something I just really think is important, man. I mean, your energy is something that's something that you can control. Your energy and your attitude. I mean, those are two things that you can control in any situation, no matter what's going on. And so if you're able to be a positive to someone, even if you're not feeling good, that's just the way to go.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I can control that, but I can't control my facial expression.
Okay.
Well, that's all the time that we have for you guys today. Please follow me on Instagram and Facebook, SKB_mortgage.
Yep, and I'm Bryan, BRYAN _Royster, ROYSTER.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to our podcast, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.